afternoon, leaders. You state the name and the company you represent.
Mark Paul from Lincoln.
Dangka Batean of Integrated Energy Systems.
So yung portion ito lang ng integrated.
Name ng company, ma'am.
Ano po, I'm going to company engineers.
Questions na po, diretso. Any clarifications or questions sa ating documents?
Regarding the form for bill of materials and then sa detail estimate, form, sample form, sir. Page 103.
Ano number?
103, sir.
103.
Opo.
Anong form yun?
Yung bill of materials, ma'am.
Pinaka-page.
Kasi dun sa na-download ng page 103 siya. Pero yung dun sa
Ito. Nag-move mo.
page na bill of materials. Bill of materials.
Ito.
Ano po question?
Ma'am, kasi dun sa na-download nila, hindi naka-include yung document.
Ikaw wala ito.
Kaya,
How is it included in the bill again?
tapos ma'am, yung statement of ongoing government and private contracts na form din po, forms. Annex A, Form 1. Yan ma'am. Kasi yung ongoing natin, within 10 years.
Yes, ma'am. Para na po. 5 years kasi doon sa una.
Pero di ba sir, dapat yung completed contracts is within the 5 years period. Then yung ongoing natin for the preceding year ng FX natin. Tapos ma'am, ano po kaya yung dapat namin? Kasi hindi rin po nakalagay dito kung ano yung i-enclose na reference. Kung kailangan mag-attach ng PO or certificate of acceptance.
ma'am, i-bibigay din natin yung mga PO, diba?
Yung list sir nung
Sa power. Ma'am, paki-open nyo rin sa IPD clause 12.1. Andun din yung mga kailangan natin.
So sir, any of the ano po, end user acceptance or
Yes, ito.
official receipt or invoice.
Yes.
Which contract? Nandun dapat yun.
Ito ang kailangan natin sabihin.
So yung ano lang sir na yan. Any of the 3 items.
Yes.
Ma'am, hindi po any po. Award, contract,
Kasi sir nakalagay po or eh.
hindi po. Official receipt or sales invoice. Ibig sabihin po, pero yung kasama po dyan yung mga sa word ninyo, yung contract agreement, tapos yung purchase order, o kung na po yun, kung wala po kayong acceptance, yun po sinasabi na OR or SI yung isasabihin.
Ano ko lang sir sana parang malinaw dun sa partner namin kasi
Yes po. Standard po naman po yun yung na-attach po yun sa lahat ng billing documents na yung mga ongoing tsaka completed. Inilalagay po yung NOAA, purchase order, tsaka yung contract.
yes sir, we understand. Pero yung partner kasi namin is ngayon lang magbibid for government projects. So hindi sila aware. Pag sinabi namin na ganun, without the instruction, hindi sila nagpo-provide.
JB kayo ma'am, nagka-JB po.
Yes.
Pag JB naman po ma'am, ang sinasubmit lang po ng dalawang partner is eligibility documents. Dapat
Yes, sir.
po, lahat po ng eligibility documents, magsasubmit yung dalawang partner. Pero doon po sa technical documents, yung kunwari ito na po yung sa ongoing tsaka completed, either na po dun sa dalawa kung sino po yung magsasubmit. Provided na kung sino po yung magsasubmit ng FCC, siya rin po ang magbibigay ng AFS, tsaka siya po yung magbibigay ng ongoing na tsaka completed.
Kasi sir, kami yung magpo-provide ng ongoing. Pero yung dun sa completed namin is yung principal namin kasi sila yung mayroong track record. So, yun po yung hinihingi namin na sana may list down kung ano yung kailangan namin i-attach dun sa completed contracts para malinaw po sa kanila kung ano yung isasabihin.
Yes ma'am. Yung sa completed po is NOAA, yung contract agreement, and purchase order. And yung kung either sa tatlo na po na yan, acceptance, official receipt, or yung SI.
Yes sir. Saan po namin sir malalaman na maire-refer namin yung principal namin na nandun yung no?
Yes po, sa ITV mo ito. ITV. Sa ITV plus 12.1. Patignan lang po.
Kasi sir, nakalagay lang po yung end user's acceptance or official receipt or sales invoice. Yung notice of award po and copy of contracts. Kasi normally sir, yung dun sa form ninyo, dun nakalagay po yun.
Yes po. Normal na po, ganun na po. So,
Pero dito sa form nyo ngayon, wala. So ang worry lang namin, baka hindi kami na nag-a-ask kami for something na hindi naman nakalagay dito sa bill.
okay. Mga ganito lang, i-ko na lang namin. Bibigul ko na lang po namin yung form na yun na yun po nire-require na as attachment po dun sa...
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Pero yan pa rin, susunod.
Sir, regarding sa 5.4 ES, yung similar contract shall refer to supply and delivery for procedure design software. BDS po. It mentions there na supply and delivery of for procedure design software. So, ang question ko po, is it possible na instrument approach procedure design software with regards to the interpretation which is currently being used?
Yes, if you have similar contracts that require you to supply and deliver IFR procedure design software, so it could be valid.
So, yung instrument approach pasok dun sa...
Yes, so all instrument like procedure design software.
Okay. With regards to page 73 of 126, page 73, on the words above, with regards to the statement that says if the software required AutoCAD to run the program, AutoCAD is be included in the package. So if that would mean that if it's not required, I mean the software itself doesn't require AutoCAD and it has their own CAD software, computer aided design software, is it possible without this software because it is redundant to the cost?
Yes, if the software runs without AutoCAD, but with another version of CAD, and it runs properly, so it will be okay.
Sir, regarding the training, will there be a different set of attendees per course, or the 8 attendees will take all the courses?
We propose that the six personnel will attend the whole duration of the courses. Yeah, 6 will attend the whole duration, but 2, since we reserve the 2 slots for management, the ones who will endorse and sign the validation report. So all they need to attend are the courses that involves what they are signing. Maybe a little review of the procedure design. So
not necessarily
the whole. Yeah, because they are on the management side, so they may not be available for the whole duration. So they will be available only for the reviews.
So it would be local training, sir?
We're not particular with the local or international training as long as they provide us with the venue.
Okay. With regards to yung readers of the contact capability earlier, I mentioned about that, but will you issue a clarification on that for people?
Excuse me. Is it not necessary for us also to specify the period for the training?
Sir, it is included in the training, software training requirements. We included the duration, 1 week for refresher of conventional procedures, 1 week for refresher of PBN procedures, and then 3 days for the validation and verification quality assurance workshop, 1 day for the refresher on charting and documentations, and then at least 2 weeks for the software operations. This will depend on your proposal also.
So yung page 74. Sa taas. Ano yung previous page ba na sorry? Sa baba. Okay ba? In regards to compatibility, in the last, second to the last portion, compatibility 32 and 64 BOS AutoCAD. So that would also accompany the, yung, since we have our own computer data design, so this would also refer to that thing, particular clause.
Yes, it also refers to the AutoCAD if it is a requirement to run the software effectively. But if as long as it runs effectively, it's an option.
It's an option. So in case it has the software, our software that we're going to supply is its own computer data design software. So doesn't mean that it should be compatible. So yung software naman dapat compatible sa 32, 64 bit OS. Not necessarily that.
Not necessarily.
May questions so far?
So yung P74 on the upper portion yung specification, it mentions that yearly updates available for purchase after 3 years. So that would not be included in our bid, right? It's just it just states that it should be available after the 3-year period.
We're looking here for sustainability because some software after 3 years they don't exist anymore. We don't have any updates anymore. So we're looking for sustainability. That after 3 years that the warranty is void already. We need the company to still be there, or we have an option to purchase it and upgrade after 3 years. That's all.
Specific one, specific
So we will be requiring maybe a certification that yeah, or that upgrades will be available for purchase even after 3 years.
And we will include that in our video.
Sa documents included na siya.
Sir, regarding sa duration of training, would it be consecutive po ba yung, I mean, yung courses na detailed under the duration of training?
Actually, with the we can incorporate the 1 and 2 refresher for initial and the refresher for PBN, incorporate it with the hands-on software operations. So we can put number 5 together with 1 and 2 actually. We can do that while reviewing it. We can also be training for the software itself, so how to use it, while reviewing for the procedure design course. Because the software is for validation of the design, but it will also include the construction of the initial procedure design course, which is conventional. So also the refresher for PBN procedure design. So we can, while reviewing those subjects, we can incorporate already the hands-on use of the software itself. But the order itself, it should be, yes, initial first and then the PBN and then the validation, since it's the step-by-step procedure for validation of procedure design.
So the courses can be combined together as long as you
Yes, as long as
number of training days.
the number of training days can also be
Can be
again,
combined.
like number 6. Provider should submit a proposed curriculum or training syllabus that should be reviewed for approval by the applicant. So it can be different.
It can be customized. As long as you meet the duration, the number of days required for the particular course or subject.
Actually, you can shorten it if you want. Yeah, you can customize
As long as it meets your
subjects. Yeah, the subjects should be there.
I just want to ask the terms of payment for this particular project. How do we pay the supplier? Upon delivery of the software, or do we have to retain a certain percent? Because if you would notice, you're requiring a certificate that the product is still available for after 3 years. But if you will pay them after the delivery of the software, we will no longer hold from them when during after 3 years the software is no longer available. So paano natin maahawakan kahit mag-issue sila ng certificate that this software is still available after 3 years kung nabayaran mo na sila after that?
Sir, we will require affidavit that they can supply us within 3 years.
Yes, but how can we penalize them if they're compliant with our requirement? Kasi nabayaran na natin sila. Nabayaran pa rin sila after na mag-test mo yung software na okay, gumagana. But still you're requiring that the software is upgradable after 3 years. Nag-issue lang sila ng certificate. Okay. Pero nabayaran na sila. What if hindi sila compliant sa requirement after 3 years?
Sir, maybe there is a point with regards to the common it's also common and usual for doing it to require 10 years availability of spare parts, but we will not withhold the payment for a period of 10 years, but it's just a certification that is normally provided by the supplier contractor. So I would say that it goes hand in hand with this particular requirement. It's just a supply of a certification, as what was previously required by the procurement.
Sir, we will include that in our bid bulletin. Yun nga yung 10 years na continue supply ng software. Yung updating ng software. 3 years.
Can we include that the price at what if after 3 years we're going to upgrade the software and then the price is too high kasi ano siya, baka kailangan ng compatibility. Diba? Hindi ba pwede makontrol natin yung price ng software as to the economic compatibility na yung station na doon.
Actually, sir, yung the warranty only lasts for 3 years, but after 3 years, we thought of what we said as retention of the software because it's cheaper to buy an upgrade than a whole system. So that's why we put it there. So if after 3 years the software does not exist anymore, then yun nga yung problema natin, no? If it's included in the contract that it should dapat kasama siya, or else if hindi ka makapag-provide after 3 years, so breach of contract na yun, di ba? Kasi gusto namin dito is a cheaper way to sustain this.
It's no longer part of the contract because you pay already become. Unlike the infrastructure, there are 2 years bago makakawala yung bidder, yung contractor, because we have 1 year completion period. After a year, we still have another 1 year for the acceptance rate. The executive will be covered by the contract. Yan kasi, pagkabihan wala na sa contract.
I have a question for the end user. If you flash page 75 regarding training. Yes, on item 1, are we expecting that we will have its own, they will hire expertise to deliver a refresher training for the initial procedure design and the deviant procedure design?
Yes, sir. We're expecting experts to conduct the training for this.
So, because I noticed that item 1 and 2, these courses has been offered in Beijing. So we expect that the expertise will come from IK or regional office.
Not necessarily, sir. Usually, companies have their own procedure designers, especially the companies that provide instrument file procedure designs. They have their own designers. So they are considered as experts, so they can come and be the one to instruct us.
Yes, I'm just curious because definitely it will add up the cost of this. Because definitely on the part of the end user, majority of you guys have attended the initial phase, the course number 1 and course number 2. So will it take you another week and another 1 week for the design course just to having the rest? Is this the result of having attended these courses, and after that you will not be have it practice on the actual work?
Actually, sir, if we check with Beijing, it's the duration for each training comes for 1 month, more than 1 month. We are asking for just a refresher, and those refresher, like for example, our personnel have been trained in Beijing 5 or 4 years ago, and then they have new criteria now. The latest 8168 version 7th edition already. So they need the refresher course also. This is to refresh them with what's the latest criteria in procedure design. So that's all actually with the 1 month training will be shortened to just 1 week, just to refresh them with what's the latest criteria, ICAO criteria, mostly we don't practice this since it's not our function to design. Our function is just to validate. So most likely that we need to review really the procedures on how to design again.
Sir, with regards to the venue of the training, it should be conducted within the premises of the CAAP or it should be outside?
It's open for bidding. It's up to you. It's any available venue, preferably of course with internet connection. So if we need to Google up something during the training, like download documents from ICAO. So at least strong internet connection. Any venue will do.
So possible po na within the CAAP premises, with that facility?
I don't think
Because component po yan, sir.
the
So
internet
we
is
need to-
not so reliable right now.
Excuse me. I think it should be specified in the whether the training be conducted in a hotel or kasi it's a cost plus for the bidder. Para alam nila kung how to bid, how do they compute their bid. Kasi kung bahala sila, baka very
Actually, sir, yun lang nilagay namin. The provider should provide the venue, classroom, and training facilities, including internet access, a projector for some presentation. So, as long as they meet all these requirements, it's really up to them.
specify nila
Kung sa hotel ba or sa office ng supplier o kung
Sige,
paano.
idagdag na sa bid documents.
Oo.
Sa bid bulletin.
In relation to that question, for example, the venue is not good. Are they going to pay the use of the fare on the hotels?
Usually, sir, pinaprovidean kami ng, if it's outside the office, pinaprovidean kami ng service, like sa Century Hotel. So, usually kasama yun. It's a package. Venue and transport. Specify na lang sa business.
Pero sir, pero dito po lahat magagaling lahat ng...
Dito na.
Sir, pwede ko sa office namin.
So up to you, ma'am. As long as there are guidelines and policies by those requirements, I go. But definitely not before.
Sir, include na natin yung lunch siguro. Kasi walang lunch eh.
License na.
Mahal ka sa hotel.
Ends na.
License na.
License na.
Specify na lang sa regulation.
Okay, so is there anything else?
May question pa po? Tigilan na. Okay na. Okay na sila, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
leaders, welcome sa ating press conference. May we know your name and the company you represent? Can you please, Mark, start?
Mark Wong from Everton.
I'm Johnny Ramos from Tignan. Miguel Enjales from XAC Industries. Joseph Crisosmo from Boston Home Brewery.
Other leaders, kasama ko. Kasama.
Yeah, we're together.
Okay. Clarifications sa ating deed documents. You can ask your questions now. No questions?
After the bidding conference, can we still submit other questions or queries?
Yes, sir. You can still submit 10 days before the scheduled opening of bids.
Okay.
But if you not buy our bid documents, we're not obliged to respond to your question.
Okay, thank you.
Question po. For the track record na gagamitin po, are you going to allow aircraft rescue equipment or vehicle?
So, no, kasi gamit na as airport lifting equipment siya.
Mawaiting this week.
Sir, excuse me. For the purpose, may I clarify the airport lifting equipment? Is it okay for aircraft lifting equipment?
Sa last portion, yung nakalagay yung supply delivery of airport lifting equipment. Aircraft lifting equipment.
Lifting. Aircraft recovery lifting equipment.
Get them airport.
Yes, it will be aircraft lifting equipment and we will issue that in the bid list.
Sir, may I request regarding the similar, may we request 2 projects or equivalent to 50%? For the aircraft recovery equipment.
Excuse me. I'd like to address this to the end user. because I've been flying for 32 years and nakitaan ko lang ng itong lifting equipment dito is BIA. Have we considered some clauses that would make it flexible for our bidders? Because I haven't seen any, even Clark, even Mactan, only BIA.
Okay, sir. Ma'am, we will issue a bid making, considering your request that we will have an aggregate, we will consider aggregate some of the aggregate projects of two projects as it will be considering 5.4. Those 5.4 billion.
Sir, may clarification na po, sir. The aircraft recovery transportation 5.4 gigawatt, that it has to be manufactured by reputable car manufacturers. So I really would like to clarify regarding the requirement on the loaded trailers. Is this the trailers that similar to the one used by NIA in the area, or it's a specialized trailer for the airport, transport? So if it is aircraft trailer, it's not manufactured by car manufacturers. It's being manufactured by the designer with contract.
Ma'am, with regards po sa trailer, no? Tama. With regards sa trailer, yung kinuha natin actually is na kagaya sa BIA na isang mahabang trailer lang siya. We choose the three trailer type, no? Yung tatluhan siya. So, the two will be holding the wing section, both left and right, and then sa fuselage, sa nose landing gear yung isa. So, tatlo lang. Unlike sa ginamit sa MIA, na isang mahabang trailer lang siya para sa fuselage.
So, if that's the case, so, hindi po car, it should be by the manufacturer or they have their own design recovery equipment. Kasi car po.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have a point. We will delete the word car in the item 5.4.
Another thing po, sir, since there's a requirement on the specification, may we know what type of aircrafts need to be covered?
Excuse me, ma'am, in support of that question. And Joseph, what's the basis for this? The specs of these trailers? Anong aircraft to? Kasya bang 747 dyan? 777 dyan?
Yes sir, during the time na ginagawa namin yung program report para sa project is nakabase po siya sa 747 in preparation po para doon sa Davao International Airport, sir, which is nagkikater siya ng 747.
Capacity minimum or 50,000 kilograms?
Minimum of
Of 50,000.
yes sir.
Anong maximum mo?
At least 747 sir, that's 60,000 kilogram.
Are you sure about that?
Yung po yung latest na nag-land sa Davao before, na which is ano nila sa amin, explanation ng mechanic nila is nagwe-weigh siya na dry weight.
No. You go back to the books. Take the maximum empty weight of the 74 and with the maximum take-off weight of the 74. Marami ka pang karga dyan.
Consider the fuel, consider the passengers, consider the baggages.
Will consider, sir.
Okay.
Sir, to clarify, even is for 747, it's a wide body aircraft. So, not 50 tons, but we need around 90 tons. So, there is a lot of price difference between the narrow body and the wide body. And the budget line will be, it's a big difference. Secondly po, sir, do you need a trailer system? So I understand from your earlier statement that you need 3 trailers. So based on my manufacturer information, they would like to know whether the 3 trailers specified, do you want to cover all landing gears collapse scenario?
That's type, yes, ma'am, that's type 3 scenario. At least we can cover all the landing gears. May scenario po kasi tayo na pwedeng mag-land ang aircraft without any landing gears kasi. So, at least naka-ready po tayo sa ganung scenario. That's the worst scenario na pwede namin paghandaan.
So it's yes or?
Yes.
If that is the case, then it needs also necessary connection. It's not specified in the specification for the team.
Beg your pardon, ma'am?
Sir, for the trailer system, so we need the necessary connection for simultaneous movements.
Yes, ma'am. Those 3 trailers should be interconnected. I believe that's included in the offer, but not reflected. I believe, but it's not reflected in this specification.
Yes.
But during the time that we are preparing the program, while scanning, I encountered this type of trailer. It's included in the offer, the connections. It is
Yes, sir, but
included
it's not
already.
specified.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe we will specify it.
So, I mean,
We'll put in the window.
necessary, kanyang design po, sir, based on the general review by our manufacturer, this specification may be complied with only one.
Yes, ma'am. We come up with the design ng trailer, which is yung pinili namin because part of the lifting van, hindi rin namin kasi kinuha. The plan is, kung may disabled aircraft tayo, we need only one side para gagamitan agad namin ng trailer in replacement ng lifting van, saka kami lilipat sa kabilang side. That's why ang kailangan namin is yung 3 trailer. unless kung kukuha kami talaga ng complete set ng lifting bag, okay lang na kung kagaya ng trailer na ginamit sa MIA kasi both sides, including the fuselage, kaya niyang iangat. But on the program, ang kinuha lang namin is capability lang para sa isang side lang muna iangat. So, we need a three trailer para pag-angat sa isang side, may replacement agad tayong trailer na pupunta, ililipat namin sa kabila yung bag.
So it's not a trailer system po.
Actually, recovery system siya. Kailangan lang namin siya iangat and then may lipat sa platform ng trailer para matanggal sa runway.
Sir, pag tatlong, if all three collapse, then you have no choice but to use the three trailers altogether.
Yes ma'am, hindi naman, pag three landing gears ang collapse talaga, that will require us na kailangan kompleto yung set namin ng lifting bag. But as of now, since tipid kami sa budget during the time, actually, I think may changes na rin sa price niya dahil almost 3 to 4 years ago pa nagawa yung program of work niya. So,
Hindi lang po sir, kung you require wide body, it's a big difference.
yes ma'am.
Your requirement is just 50 tons now. You want 747, it's a wide body, it's 90 tons.
In order to cut short our preview conference, I think it's better for the bidders to submit written queries so that the end user and the technical people could detail their explanation regarding your queries.
Sir, may I request mo kasi maganda po pag na-raise ako really. And then, really, there are so many things like this is specification. I hope it's for general. And the point, there are some specification na hindi po ma-comply by most of the manufacturers. Maybe one.
Okay, we will look into that, whether the specifications is catered to one particular bidder or not. So we will also look into that. Then those answers to your queries will also be published for the benefit of other bidders.
Ang problema po sir, kaya lang bumili po kami ng bidders. If this is fake cannot be complied by the company, then it's waste of money to buy the documents before we can officially cancel like this. Sorry po sir. I hope it's okay.
Sir, another point, in the interest of transparency, pwede ba namin malaman kung saan kinopya yung technical specs so we can also refer to our suppliers para mas madali?
For the trailer, sir?
Yes sir, gold hopper. Kasi ayun lang nakikita ko eh. I tried researching, it's gold hopper. Is it the same?
Yeah, but the part in the back is better.
In that case, that is, maswerte na lang kung sino sa amin makakuha ng distributorship no? If it is copied from gold hopper.
Okay sir, we will check na lang during...
Sir, for the record, I mean, just for your information po sir. Several years ago, Clark also tried to procure recovery equipment. And it was more or less naka-copy from Baker and Roto. Because of that, the procurement did not proceed. because they claim before they were available around 5 to 6 manufacturer who could comply, but when in fact it's just one. Thank you.
The BAC PWG review the specifications para kung makita natin yung mga generics. Ang ipapublish na lang po natin is generic specs. If may makita po natin, i-correct po natin, titignan po natin lahat po ng mga supplier kung ano po yung generic specs sa kanila. And then po yun po ipapublish natin for the specifications na i-require po ng CAAP. So, magkakaroon po kayo ng big bulletin regarding that one. And i-expect po ninyo na generic specs po ang makikita. Kung makikita namin sa review na naka-tailor fit po siya sa isang supplier.
Kaya nga ako, sir, kung pwede, it's okay with the quality. Maybe at least briefly raise our concern on the specification. For example, the trailer. My manufacturer sent me this email, so I will just read it to you so possible.
Ganito lang, if there will be, upon our review, makita namin na it is copied from a single manufacturer. And then, we will issue a big bulletin na generic lang po, generic specs lang po yung re-require natin. And if there will be a major change sa specifications, we will try to schedule na lang another pre-bid conference para po doon. And if kung pwede po, kung iba-iba po yung mga supplier ninyo, if you could provide the PWG yung mga specifications ng supplier ninyo para tingnan po natin kung ano yung yung para generic na lang po yung ilalagay namin, na better po.
Sir, may I suggest something? Which, 2016 or 15, there was a tender coming. So what they did, they invite all the manufacturers all together to discuss on the agree general specification. So everybody could participate.
Yes, ma'am. Kaya po kung
They
pwede mo.
invite all and then we discuss point by point among all the
Yes, ma'am.
supplier, and then we come up with the final spec.
First thing first, siguro ma'am, if you could provide na lang po ng copy ng specifications po ng mga supplier ninyo, and then the BAC TWG will look into the similarities of those specifications, and then yun po ipapublish namin, and then magkakaroon naman po tayo ng another pre-bid conference kung ano naman po yung masasabi nyo doon sa generic specs.
Through the chair, am I to understand that the bidders are saying that based on the current and existing specs, only one particular company can comply? Is that what the bidders are saying?
Yes.
Okay, please make that of record and let's discuss probably with the technical working group as mentioned by Sir Jasper, please, because we have to make it generic. Okay.
Ma'am, ganun lang, paki-provide na lang po kami ng specifications sa mga supplier ninyo. And then, i-evaluate ko namin sa TWG. Kayo rin siya.
Excuse me, sir. That time is too tight because the survey is scheduled sometime September 9. Perhaps you can decide now if you're going to reschedule it now. So there will be more time for us to prepare and give you the specs.
For sure, sir. For sure, we will have rescheduling of the opening of bids.
Because issuing a bid supplemental bulletin is very scary.
Sige, sir. Pagka nakapag-provide na kayo sa amin ng specs, sir, i-expect po ninyo na we will issue a bid bulletin na postponing the opening of bids.
So do we have to buy the documents to be able to provide you the necessary?
Kung may provide nyo na sa amin yung today, para at least ma-review na namin kagad. Pero if we can, we advise na bumili na ng printouts. Kasi ipopostpone po namin. Hindi po namin na-advise na bibili na kayo.
I just briefly, para more or less an idea po. So, the one regarding the trailer, we require 80 km per hour. So, when it's unloaded, yung kasi aircraft yung carry, I mean, even before, you don't need to have 80 kilometers per hour. You're not running the highways. You did not want to be issue previously in that.
Yes, we will consider all the mga comments dito regarding the aircraft recovery system. And expect na pagka nakita na po ng BAC PWD, we will just revise the technical specifications na magiging generic na open po sa lahat ng supplier.
Meron pa ako isang, I just ilakaw ko na lang yung tungkol sa lifting back po. So, it's more or less nakakopy po sa isang supplier is computer. So, I mean, so the CAAP should decide whether you are requiring what type of aircraft is going to cover. So, if it is going to cover the total collapse in all the state, baka hindi ko kasi talaga ang puno. Number one. Number two po, yung 65 tons capacity with one single, hindi, mostly it will not be able to comply with manufacturers. And yung ano po, minimum is 60 tons. Is this at 1 bar or half bar? The 65 tons capacity.
Range po from half bar up to 1 bar, 0.5 to 1 bar, naka-range po siya.
Hindi po kasi, may formula po yun sir. Hindi magiging range so yun. Yun ang issue lagi ho namin in mga tenders for the last 3 times in tender. Kasi they want 1 bar, but the AKO or even the ARM manual, the maximum to be applied on the aircraft should be not more than half bar. So based on the formula, if it is the top portion should touch the aircraft, should be the most 0.5 bar. The capacity is divided by half. Length time is 5 bar. So, pag sinabi po ng 1 bar at 65, if the ARM manual say half bar lang ang allowed, it automatically divided by half. So, it's just 32.5 bar. Tons ang capacity.
Noted po, we will look into your comments.
And isang clarification po sir, if the BAC is just for the some portion of the o kasi kung complete system, kailangan po pag 747, mga 8 BACs po yun. May mga ibang dimension pa rin po. So it depends in what scenario would CAAP would like to cover the aircraft. Ang tabo po sir, ano ho pinaka-biggest aircraft po naglalang?
7%.
So, pwede ko sir magtanong, curious na ako. Yung sabi niya ako sa amin, do you consider the aircraft is tawag po, scrap na?
Depends if there was on this investigation. So,
Through the chair, so having all these discussions, what is the possible recommendation of the Secretariat and the Technical Working Group? Is it an option for us to postpone the proceedings and the opening of the bid until such time that a new pre-bid conference is scheduled and concluded?
Yes sir, we will review the specifications and then we will definitely postpone the voting of the bids for the project.
Okay sir, bakos na yung reason po.
Likewise, the BAC members is probably, not probably, is mandating the Secretariat and the Technical Working Group to conduct additional research on the products to be included in the bid product presentations and call from those presentations the generic specifications. Alright, okay.
Yes sir.
Through through the chair, is that other comments from the BAC members?
Yeah, I would suggest also that they look into the current pricing of the particular lifting recovery equipment, because maybe the program was too old, or it's not sufficient. The fund is not sufficient for our requirement. Baka magsayang lang tayo ng oras. So better for us to revise the program if it's necessary, and provide additional funds para yung requirement natin is ma-satisfy.
Sir, konti na okay ako. Nabanggit lang po ng aming principal. Like what happened, kasi hindi naman siya nangyayari sa amin. Kung gusto lang mabilisan, kayo mo. 3 crate o 2 crate. Dahil yung ginamit ko ang crate, it will cause secondary damage already.
Yeah, we will consider po ng gagawa ng program.
Hindi na naman yung specs. We can provide specs na natin sa bandito. Pwede mag-decide na naman.
Hindi po kami sa manufacturer kasi minsan update na sila. So, what I have is the old version. So, yung details, kasi in general yung nakukuha ko dito sa kanila. Wala pa yung details about I can give po yung brochure nila ngayon. Or I ask the manufacturer how when can we provide these specifications?
And
This kind of difference what we do.
through the chair, is it proper that we're asking our bidders to submit their own specifications, or should we be conducting our own research? Because I don't think it's quite proper that we're asking them to submit their own. There may be trade and commercial value to their own specifications that we may not be privy with. So I suggest that rather than requesting copies of their own specifications, may we request the user unit, I think in this particular instance, the ADMS department, to just conduct their own more in-depth research. Okay, maybe 3 or 4 would do. Then cut from those specifications the more generic ones, and that's what we're going to use. If you've already done that and there is no basis to the, for lack of a better term, allegations coming from our bidders, then we push through with this. But if you think that the specifications are pointing towards one or a, then we change it. Then we push through with the plan as agreed by the BAC members to postpone the opening of the bids. But insofar as asking the bidders to submit their own specifications, I think there is something amiss to that. Okay, through the chair, that's just as a comment.
I think the biggest thing that we could do is to like the product presentation. Product presentation, right? Product presentation. That we could produce the specification.
My complizer. Sir, as mentioned earlier, kung okay lang po, that all the builders can sit down also after the research para to come up para masayang yung time for the general specification. Like what experience at Manila, we request all the prospective bidder to be present and to discuss and come up with the general specification. Kaya yung mga manufacturer po naman meron sila mga big airports na supply sa international. So, like yung Disney and type supply and I think all other components has also the same.
Thank you for that, ma'am. Through the chair, that would completely, I think, based on my own personal opinion, you may or you may not agree with me, but I think that would be completely up to your discretion to meet with the other bidders, prospective bidders at that, and you can submit whatever will be discussed between and amongst you, and the BAC technical working group and the user unit may or may not use the result of that. The final decision would come from the user unit and of course with the BAC members. Okay. So you may submit that, of course. We will take that under advisement, but the final decision again would be dependent on the specifications of the ADMS. Yes, just for the record, so that we're all on the same page. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So we will post further notice sa Philjeps for case postponement and everything. So for now, thank you po.
Come up with your own specs.
We will come up with another round of the specs.
Pagkakaroon ko ng postponement nila, magkakaroon ko siguro ng another meeting.
Yeah.
The other standard, you will come up with your own specs. Should not, the spec should not be coming from us. Magulo yung magulo.
Generic specs.
Yes, mag-research po sila, sir.
Sa user na lang.
They should have their own specs for us to follow.
Yes.
That should not be.
Sige po, thank you.
We have other items to be discussed. The debaters, please.
Repairing to a particular grant, kaya nga yun ang isa sa akin. Hindi ko na makasagot ng dami ng sinabi ng yung running is particular grant, kaya nga ang haba-haba ng specs.
Okay, I think we need to prioritize our topic. So I would suggest that we go directly to 6.3, 6.4.
Ang recommendations for award.
I think it's the one we discussed that it took more than a year. For about
So, ano yung concern natin dito, sir? Kasi parang lalo habang tumatagal, mas doon tayo na-expose. Anyway, hindi naman decision ng BAC dahil yung BAC dininay until MR. We're just implementing the decision of the Director General.
Bumalik siya, sir, after ma-decision na yung protest, bumalik na siya sa regular process na nag-postpone na ngayon doon sa nag-protest. And result ng post-qualification nila is pumasa. So they're recommending to award. Ang BAC na nila mag-award kay Bill Tax Interest, sir.
Yes,
I have to express my dissenting opinion on this matter. Considering that the post-qualification duration was too long and the resolution of the protest exceeded also the required duration.
Sir, how do you want to proceed then?
March,
Kaya, for my part lang naman so we can decide.
Ako, I can go. Really work over we just implemented it. And so far as we are concerned, ministerial
Na lang kasi, because all throughout sinabi naman natin qualified. But then again, the hope decided for us and then it went through the process again. Okay, so the recommendation went through DTWG legal naman, di ba? Can we see the signatures appearing on? Ayan naman. And also, sir, I want to understand the reservations. What is the basis for saying that it went through, we took our time, not naman it's something that we want to happen, but of course we had to go through the process. Meron bang provision sa 9184 that would prevent us from doing so, subject to the protest process, of course?
Yeah. Actually, the duration specified in the resolution of the protest is only 7 days. And previous decisions by the BAC, though it's not our, parang may precedent sila that if the project is already too long, they just defer it or consider it a failure. But in this part, I'm just expressing my dissenting opinion, whether if you're gonna award this one.
I think this is happening. It needs to not even use. Very sign solution.
around the resolution, then change the cell, register the cell.
So hindi mag-reflect sa minutes ngayon, sir, na approve na
Hindi
parang.
mo i-reflect the minutes. Sa route nyo, we have to count after all the signatures are available. But if you want to vote, kasi wala si chairman, tapos wala si captain. So, one, you can put on record na want to put this to bed. So, I'm in favor.
So far as I am concerned, and based on my legal appreciation and the factual ones, we are only implementing the decision of the whole, and this is ministerial. But member Regine Borlado has a different opinion, and this is a collegial body, so we take on to that. If we do not get enough numbers, then we do not implement. We worry about that. But right now, ihiraw natin naman siguro. So, the minutes would probably reflect that the resolution is routed to all members for their signature. Okay? So, yan ba kailangan po sa chairman? This is let's say we're discussing about the Butuan, the BOR project, the one that was protested by field cops. this is the technical working group is already recommending for its approval and award to Indra PhilCAAPs. Previously, we awarded it to Evercon, but since PhilCAAPs protested, we hope the Director General granted the protest in favor of PhilCAAPs. Now, we are being called by the circumstances to award already to PhilCAAPs. There is a reservation on the part of Engineer Borlado that it took a while for us to not act on it, but to reach the award. Because we have been acting on it, but due to the circumstances and the motion for considerations and the protest, isang taon na ba? 1 year or more?
Almost.
December, yeah. But yeah, but in any case, it has been recommended by the technical working group. It went through the legal. Our own legal department, Attorney J.R. Lumabon, has approved the recommendation. But considering that the recommendation of this representation, Mr. Chair, is to route the resolution and see if we get enough numbers to award. And those members who will not be comfortable to approving the resolution should just register the dissent. So if that's okay with the chair, then we proceed with that recommendation. Okay.
So we prepare the resolutions.
The one approved by the technical working group.
These two projects, sir, when we open, during the opening of bids, the PhilJeps of integrated as a lapse state, so they disqualified the ng BAC. Then they filed an MR after 3 days, and the Secretariat routed the MR to the head PWG and to the ANSWG for reference para pag-meeting may ready sila sa sagot nila. But apparently, sir, binigay lang po sa amin ito sa Permado ng chair na in-approve na po ang kanilang MR. Wala pong delivery sa bago.
Yeah. Yung tanong ko lang, paano nakarating sa akin?
May ano yan, may
wala po, hindi po, kasi hindi po dinala tong folder na ito.
So, yan lang, walang recommendation either from
None. Actually, yung attorney Edwards na nangingi sa amin ng mga data.
Edward.
Attorney Edward namin.
Transit.
Attorney Edward, si Attorney Edward sa si Attorney Franco.